Average Dude has something to say about...
Well, the city of Detroit has finally found its way on my show. They've been having a series of robberies held up by people that appear to be cops. And, well, yeah, let's go into this. You see, Detroit's been in trouble for quite some time. It's part of the Great Lakes. And the Great Lakes was basically built up and developed with the steel industry because, well, when you're dealing with metals and things like that and melting them down, you need fresh water. You need fresh water specifically. So it makes sense to set up those businesses, those factories, close to large bodies of fresh water. And that's why the Great Lakes was very, very big with the steel industry. When the steel industry went about 13 years ago or so, the thumbs up their butts. They didn't know what they were doing. They have never recovered from that. Detroit, Cleveland, the Great Lakes have never, ever recovered. And in 2008, when the auto industry needed help, the whole bailout nonsense, and the auto industry largely went, I mean, those were the two biggest industries in that area, in the Great Lakes area. That's why they turned into a whole bunch of ghost towns and squatter territories. It absolutely devastated, all the loss of jobs devastated the Great Lakes. And this is what I don't understand about the Great Lakes areas and when it comes to cities like Detroit and all those areas, or even the United States in general. You see other countries have figured out, oh, green movement, green. So you go into stores and you see green products, green. But they're not made here. They're not made in the Great Lakes areas, which would make sense. I mean, you have a bunch of foundries and factories that are abandoned, just waiting to be used to make products, to distribute and sell. Green is a big thing. You see, Europe and the rest of the world has jumped on the green bandwagon, and the United States of America is infinitely stupid and has not done so yet. So guess what? The money's going elsewhere, and the Great Lakes area could really use it. Why nobody thought of this is beyond me, but you know what? Let's move on. Bottom line is, it has become so bad in Detroit that they have filed for bankruptcy not that long ago. I mean, they opportunity knocked when it came to do the green movement, and they just completely let it go. Lost opportunity. But okay, so money is a huge issue, and when money is a big issue, essential services get cut, including police. People lose their jobs. Police lose their jobs. And this is what brings me to what this episode is about, because this episode is about rogue cops. When cops go bad. Because the cops have become really bad in Detroit. You see, the Detroit area has had a series of armed robberies. And the people who have committed, they're police. And the Detroit area has insisted over and over, they're fake police. They're fake police. They're even getting on the news and telling you how to spot fake police. And if you don't think that they're police, call the real police to find out. Well, they are real police. They're in denial. And I have said this. I've dealt with so many videos now when it comes to, like, I dealt with the radical feminists, and there were feminists who didn't like that. They got really defensive. And I dealt with men's rights. And the men's rights individual, the radicals on that side. And the men's rights they got real defensive about that. I don't sympathize with you people. Every single group has very badly behaved brats. Ignoring it doesn't make them go away. And Detroit is trying to play this stupid game. You do not ignore rogue cops and pretend that they're fake. That is a recipe for disaster. And lo and behold, the truth finally came out, because they robbed a Citgo station, and somebody, again, technology exists. Your average person can take video or pictures with the phone, and while drinking the big gulp. They got pictures of it. You're going to love this. Quote, "The chief of the Roseville Police Department has advice for drivers who believe they are being pulled over or pursued by police impersonators." Like I said, they're constantly pretending that it's fake. But you're going to love what immediately comes next in this article. Quote, "The advice comes after the arrests of veteran police sergeants from Detroit and St. Clair Shores for a recent armed robbery assault." Hey, what? Hey, the chief of Roseville Police Department has advice for those who believe they are being pulled over by impersonators? And this is after real cops have been... okay, denial time. Real cops. Say, quote, "Roseville Police Chief James Berlin said fake officers may have uniforms, guns, and badges, but almost never have flashing lights on the roof of their vehicle." These were real cops, James. What the hell is wrong with you morons in Detroit? You're citizens. Okay, you do realize that there's a lot of concealed carry and stand your ground issues, and people are already on edge about their own safety and gun rights. This is going to make people want to go out, buy guns, carry them around. Okay, police may wear bulletproof vests, but you still have the face, the head, the neck, and other parts of the body. This is really bad for good police officers. So good police officers who knew about this and pretended, didn't know anything, see, they're fake cops. You need to stop pretending and deal with your badly behaved brats instead of blaming it on fake cops. And you're going to love this because there's more denial and bad advice. Look down, all links are down below. This link especially, the video is called "Police Search for Fake Cops." It's a video, it's dealing with the news. 1 minute, 50 seconds. It's a quote from Lieutenant Darwin Roche. Quote, "They feel safe," they stop. If they do not feel safe, they can ask for ID. If they don't feel safe, obviously they can go to our local precincts. That's really bad advice. Okay, if you have bad cops with bad intentions, you're going to ask them for their ID? They're real cops. They'll show you. Oh my God. Hey, hello, McFly. And if you don't feel safe, go to the local precincts? You're going to run from a real cop with a badge and a gun and try to outrun them and run red lights and all that crap just to get to the precinct? Ooh, continuing. I'll tell you what, human beings all over the world, every single group of people and type of people have a huge terminal, permanent problem with denial, not willing to acknowledge the existence of the badly behaved within their own ranks. This is going to, this is terminal. This is absolutely horrendous. A quote, "Several unidentified police officers were working this particular robbery case, recognized one of the suspects in the photographs as being a member of the Detroit Police Department." Chief James Craig said this past Monday. Okay, you have a whole bunch of police officers and they recognize a, quote, yeah. "In fact, they were police officers, just not working on duty at the time," Craig said. All right, to clarify, when it came to the robbery at the Citgo station, the person who took pictures, not video, pictures. When you're looking at the pictures, they're suggestive as can be, but they're not absolute proof of the hitting, the taking at gunpoint. I'm very critical of stories when it comes to stuff like this. I want to see all the proof, and it just doesn't show. It's suggestive, but it's not concrete and set in stone. Okay? So this is what surprises me and really disgusts me and says a whole lot about what's going on with Detroit and their police departments. Okay? The question should be whether or not these police officers actually committed the attacking these people and robbing, because you have pictures dated and showing these police at the scene and the time. But what you don't have is substantial proof that they were actually committing, the hitting on the head and attacks and all that stuff, and taking the items. You don't have that. That should have been the issue with these police. Look at all these links. Because instead of talking about verifying whether or not the victim's story was substantiated and that they're going to investigate it and find out if it's true or not, they're constantly talking about fake cops. They're not fake cops. That is not the question. The question is whether or not these real cops committed these acts based upon the evidence. Wow! That tells me that something really stinks in Denmark when it comes to Detroit. I mean, yeah, quote, in fact, they were police officers, just not working on duty at the time, Craig said. Quote, at this time, there is no evidence to support that both sergeants were involved in any other police impersonation cases that have been reported in recent weeks, Craig said. Okay, stop referring to fake police. These are real police. This is a real situation that they've got their hands caught in the cookie jar in. Quote, I think there is going to be a totally different story to this case. These are two highly decorated police officers. Breathe. They're not rogue cops. Breathe again. They're not cops out on the street trying to take down innocent people, said Todd Flood. Who's Todd Flood? Oh, the attorney. Now, I always expect to hear crap like this from attorneys. When the prosecution, I always expect the prosecution to exaggerate and make the person look as bad as can be. And when it comes to the defense attorney, I always expect him to be as innocent and sweet as can be. And, oh, I'm just a little perfect angel. I always expect that from attorneys. But this next quote from him is really quote. This is a situation where there's more to it than what meets the eye or what's being reported, he said. Yeah, you know what, Todd? You're absolutely right. There's something more to it than meets the eye. When the Detroit police have been telling people, beware of fake cops, beware of fake cops, and then physical proof via those photographs show, oops, we recognize these two, and you still refer to them as a fake cop situation when it's not. Yeah, and these are completely innocent cops? Well, let's see. Something happened that day at Citgo, and these cops were there. So if it was someone else who committed these acts, these off-duty police just simply did nothing? Just, no, I'm off duty, I'm not doing shit. People, when cops go bad, this is a really big deal. And I'll tell you what, this is not getting really as much news coverage as I thought it would. Brace yourselves. Detroit is going to get worse, and I've said it many times, when the money goes, things go to hell in a handbasket.